let us get started. Good evening and welcome you all to this session on this Lean Six Sigma Yellow Belt. So first of all, I would like to thank all of you for joining this session. And I sincerely hope that all of you will have a wonderful learning experience. So first I will give you a brief about myself and my company. And then we will start with the Yellow Belt program. So my name is Annamalai. I am basically a BTech engineer from IIT Varanasi in Banaras Indian University, and I passed out in the year 1985. And for 30 years, I was working as a quality and production in charge, both in a manufacturing company as well as IT service company, in reputed companies like EAD Parry India Limited and Siemens. So after working for 30 years, both in production and quality functions, in both manufacturing and service, then I started my company on my own. And for the last 11 years, I'm running this company. So the company name is ICEQBS. So we are specialists in the customized content development, training, and implementation support for lean management, Lean Six Sigma, and project management professional. So we are actually accredited by Council for Six Sigma Certification, CSSC, for our Green Belt and Black Belt program. And we are also the authorized training partner for the PMP examination, Project Management Professional exam, conducted by the Project Management Institute based in USA. So we also offer monthly training programs on Lean Six Sigma, Yellow Belt, Green Belt, and Black Belt. And we also conduct every month the sessions on PMP. And our major customers include, I have worked with Amazon for almost 5 years for their Lean Six Sigma program and in their Chennai plant. And so initially they didn't have any infrastructure for the Lean Six Sigma implementation, but I just worked with them, starting from training for around 8 green belts, and then scaling up to more than 100 projects every year, and resulting in more than 100 crores of cost saving. And then I was also working with Asian Paints for their cultural change, for the problem solving, and the ESAB, the largest manufacturers of the welding machines in India. And I also worked with Rocket, the largest manufacturer of starch in India, and Lennox, the HVAC manufacturers based in USA. And I also worked with, for the training, I have worked with L&T Valves, Tata Communications, then Standard Chartered Bank, Pfizer Healthcare, Hyundai Motors, and so on. So that is a brief introduction about myself and my company. And now we will just go into the Lean Six Sigma Yellow Belt. Okay. So how many of you have heard about this Lean Six Sigma methodology? Can you just let it be interactive so that your learning also will be better? So just you can just use your chat box. No need for you to unmute yourself because there may be disturbance to others. So you can use the chat box. Whenever I ask questions, you can answer in the chat box. And if you have any questions, please ask it at the end of the session, because otherwise it will be disturbing for the people, and we have only limited time. So the session we will have from 8:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. IST. And after 10 p.m., then if any of you have any clarifications or any doubts, you can say back. Otherwise, you can just log off at around, once I say that it's completed, that'll be roughly around 10 p.m., right? So first, I just wanted to ask you a question to you, like, have you heard about Lean Six Sigma? Yes or no? Can you type the answer in the chat box? Okay, good. So I think most of you have already heard about it. Okay. So according to you, what is the benefit of Six Sigma? Why we have to learn Six Sigma? What is the advantage you are going to get by learning Six Sigma? What skills it is going to develop for you? So what skills? I'm asking about the skills. So it will improve the quality definitely. But since you are an individual and you are a working professional, so what skills will improve in you once you take this Lean Six Sigma course? Okay. Decision making and problem solving. Excellent. Yeah. So decision making and problem solving. So it's all about variation. Yeah, that is more into that. But at a very high level, it is what one of the participants has told. I think so. It is about Kumar Ayappa Kali. He has told decision making and problem solving. So the main reason why the organizations they want the people to be trained or upskilled in Lean Six Sigma is mainly to improve their problem solving skills, right? So let us start with understanding what is a problem. So a problem is an obstacle which makes it difficult to achieve a desired goal, objective, or purpose. So again, I think all of us are professionals. So day in and day out, whenever we get into the office early in the morning, like we have a plan that we have a list of tasks to do. So, and then in the evening, we wanted to spend some time with our family. So with that plan, we enter. But as soon as we enter the office, then we find that some 2 or 3 customer complaints are waiting for us to get resolved. And then maybe some main machine breakdown is there. So we have to make some alternate arrangement. Then maybe some employees or some issues are there. So you just have to uh, resolve the conflict. So by the time we just enter the office and then by the time we leave, again late in the night, so we are always very tired because always we have been not in the problem solving in a firefighting mode, right? So we are always given some targets in terms of KPIs, that is a key performance indicators, in terms of the productivity, the percentage on time delivery, the yield, etc. So we have been given some targets and we are always under pressure from our senior management to achieve those targets. But every time, because of some material issues or manpower issues or machine issues, we are always lagging behind. And that is a summary of a day's work for a working professional, right? How many of you agree with me? Do you agree with me? Yes or no? Many times you are always, most of the time, we are in the firefighting mode. Do you agree with me? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. Good.
Yes.
Okay. So when we talk about the problems, then we also should know what is problem solving. So problem solving, so any problem will definitely have one or many solutions, right? So it is not that we are going to have only one solution, multiple solutions may be there. So how we are going to find out the best solutions out of the different alternatives, implement it, and then how we are going to sustain that improvement so that the problem does not recur. So that is what is our main aim. So many times what happens is like since we are in the firefighting mode, already a lot of problem has happened. So a lot of damage has happened. So we are in the firefighting mode. So we just get out of some people who are really working in that area. And then with whatever the data we have, try to analyze what is the root causes of what are the causes for the problem. Then again, with the same set of people, we just discuss about what are the possible solutions we can take. And then we implement the solution. And then for the time being, the problem seems to be solved. So we are very happy. But again, after a week or two, again, the same problem will come and haunt us because we have not really analyzed the root cause of the problem and we have not taken permanent solution for the problem. So that is one of the major problems we face as a professionals. So whenever we want to go for a we want to go for a foolproof problem solving method. So first thing is we need to define the problem. So many times we make a mistake because we don't really exactly define what is the problem. So we say that at a very high level, we say that our yield is very poor, our productivity is very low, our on-time delivery is very poor, and so on. So we normally do not clearly define exactly the problem. For example, in a car service industry, so you may just say that the washing is not clear, the washing is not good. But again, if you are really want to solve the problem, we need to know like whether the problem is with the interior cleaning or exterior cleaning. And then if there is interior cleaning, whether it's because of the vacuum cleaner or something like that. So the more and more we are having defining the problem more and more very clearly, then it is easier for us to find the root causes for the problem and find the solution for the problem. So the main problem what we normally face is we normally do not clearly define the problem, and we also do not quantify the problem. As I was telling you, we use some adjectives like very high, very low, very serious, like that, but we don't normally quantify in terms of number. So if you want to have a thorough problem solving approach, then we need to define the problem very clearly and we need to quantify the problem. So once you've done that, then we need to identify the root causes of the problem, and then we just make a decision to take action. We make an action plan with a list of all the activities, what we are going to do, who is responsible for taking those actions, and when we are going to complete it. We make an action plan and then implement the action plan, and then we just see whether the problem is really solved, right? So that is what is a typical problem solving approach. So whenever we have problems, then we have multiple approaches for that problem solving. So again, whenever you talk about Six Sigma, so I was also certified as a black belt in the year 2004. Then immediately for any type of problem, what I was coming across in my life, I was trying to use this Six Sigma for solving the problem. But that is not the right approach. So you need to really choose the methodology or approach what you have to follow depending upon the complexity of the problem. So I will just give an example so that it will be easy for you to relate. For example, assume that you have to transport some 5 kilograms of a particular material from one place to another place. So for that, again, you can just carry it with hand. So you don't require any tools. It is very simple, right? You can carry it with your hand. But suppose if you have to carry some 30 kgs transport, then you cannot carry in your hand. So you would like to use a trolley. So with the help of the trolley, you will be able to transport the material. But suppose if you have to transport a machine, which is weighing some 400 kgs, then again, you cannot, the trolley will not be enough. You may have to go for a forklift. And again, if you have to transfer some 3 tons material or a 3 tons machine from one place to another place, then maybe even the forklift may not be enough. You may have to go for a crane. So depending upon the weight, what you need to transport, the tool what you are going to use is going to be different. So similarly, depending upon the problem what we are trying to solve, the approach what we are going to take should also be different. Then only it will be cost effective and it will be really a viable solution. So this problem solving tree I am just explaining. Just imagine that you are entering an orchard having a lot of fruit bearing trees. And your aim is to taste the sweetest of the uh, fruits. So as you are entering the orchard, you will find that already a lot of fruits have fallen down. So only effort what you have to take is just to bend down a bit, pick those fruits and eat it. So similarly, whenever you are entering your workplace, right from the first process to the final inspection process, last process, just make a visit with a pen and paper on hand, and then try to list down all the problems, whatever you are seeing. Maybe in the raw material, a bag is open and a lot of material is spillage is there. Come to the floor, you find that some tap is there, some water is leaking. Go to the machine, nearer to the machine, maybe some oil is leaking. Then you walk a bit, you find that the machine is under breakdown. Then you just go up and in, you find that people are doing some rework. So you just note down all the problems, whatever you are seeing, make a list, and then again discuss with the team about what are the actions you can immediately take. And then you just implement the actions, then lot of improvement will be there. So you don't have to do any PhD or any lot of research on analyzing the problem. And again, you don't have to again break your head for finding the solutions for the problem, right? So the solutions, the root causes and the solutions are obvious. So we call it a just to do it methodology, right? So for that again, you need to go for a Gemba walk. So Gemba is actually a Japanese word, means workplace. So in your workplace, you spend every day, you make it a habit that for first 15 to 30 minutes, you go to the floor, end to end, you just walk, carry some, you go along with some 2-3 people, just note down what are the problems you are seeing, and then try to solve at least 10 or 15 small problems. Then you will find that a lot of improvement will be there. So that is the just do it. The other next one is about the quick wins, what we also call as the low hanging fruits. That means whenever you are entering the orchard, you will find that there are some fruits which are in the low hanging branches. So just by stretching yourself a bit, you will be able to plug those fruits, and then you will be able to eat it. So similarly, in your workplace, just by using some minimum effort, you will be able to solve some big problems, and you will be able to get a lot of savings. So that's what we call as a low hanging fruits, minimum efforts and maximum benefits. So by using some simple problem solving tools like fishbone diagram, Pareto chart, YY analysis, scatter plot, etc., we will be able to solve some immediate problems and get a lot of benefit. So this is just to do it and quick wins. So these are the two approaches what you are going to use whenever the problem you are going to solve is a low complexity problem. So whenever you have some low complexity problems to solve, then you can use the just to do it and quick wins. So whenever your problems are medium complexity problems, then you use a different approach, which is called as lean and AD reports for medium complexity problem. So lean is a methodology for identifying and eliminating waste in the process. And we are going to learn about that in depth shortly from now. And the 8D approach is a problem solving methodology, which is used for solving some repeated problems. For example, if the customer is complaining that you are manufacturing some automobile components, and your customer complains that 1% of the goods, whatever is received by him, so it is always having a crack at a very particular place. And this problem is repeating for the last 6 months. So whenever you have such problem, means a long-standing problem, very specific problem, then that can be solved by using this 8D approach. And for solving the complex problems, then you use the Six Sigma methodology. So we call this a high-hanging fruits, so solving complex problems. So again, in Six Sigma, there are 3 different approaches are there: DMAIC, CDOB, and DMADB. The DMAIC methodology: define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. We are going to learn about that in depth shortly in the towards the end. So that methodology is used for improving the existing products and existing processes. So if a process is running for more than 1 year and you are getting a lot of variations in our output, then we can use the DMAIC methodology. And the CDOB and DMADB approach, these are used for improving the new process or new products. So this you will be learning in depth during the green belt and the black belt. So we are not going to learn about these different methodologies now. Okay, so now I think the moral of the story, that's learning from this slide, is that just how you are using the different tools for transporting the different weights. So similarly, depending upon the complexity of the problem, you use the different approach so that it will be viable. So first we are going to learn about some of the simple problem solving tools, which can be very easily, it can be used, and then you'll be able to get some immediate benefits. So before talking about a particular tool, we'll first learn about the basic concept, what is called as a PDCA. So whenever you are wanting to make some improvement, or whenever you want to solve some problems, the basic approach, or whatever the Lean or Six Sigma or even ISO 9001, TPM, TQM, so any of the problem solving methodology, always they have their origin to this concept, what is called as a PDCA. So this concept was first given by Edward Deming. So he was a US-based quality expert, and he was deputed quite often to Japan to solve their problems, quality issues. And he was the first one who came out with this concept. PDCA. So according to him, whenever you want to make any improvements, first you will have to make a plan. So you'll have to plan. As I was telling you earlier, first you identify the problem, quantify the problem, fix the target what you want to achieve, then investigate what are the root causes for the problem by using some tools, and then you just decide upon the action plan. So identifying the problem, quantifying the problem, and finding the root causes and developing the action plan. So that will be under the plan. Then you just implement whatever the plan you have thought about, finalize, then you implement the plan, that is do. Then check whether a real improvement or whatever the targeted value you have achieved. So normally the PDCA cycle is used for making some small improvements. It is not going to be a breakthrough improvement like a Six Sigma project, like drastically reducing the scrap from say 10% to 1%. So maybe you can just aim to reduce the scrap from 10% to say 9.5%. So small improvement, but you'll be able to continuously do that. So you just, after the actions are implemented, check whether you are able to achieve the target. So if there is a gap, try to find what else or actions you can take and then implement those actions. And once you are able to get the desired result and then test the actions under the different scenario. And if it is working, then you can just transfer through the production department. And then you can similar processes also in any other location that also you can just implement the solution. So you can just scale it up. So that is what is the PDCA, plan, do, check and act, right? So standardize and then across for example, in one machine, you reduce the scrap from 10 to 9.5%. And once the results are effective, then you are having some 10 other machines like that. So once you have checked that the improvement action is working continuously under any circumstances, then you can just implement in the other 9 machines also. That is what is the act. So this PDCA is actually the basis for any of the improvement methodology. So these are some of the problem solving tools which are very simple to use, but which will get more benefit. So the Pareto diagram is a tool which will help you to prioritize the root causes for immediate action. So I'll just give an example, but before that, I will just give you some theory. So this word Pareto is derived from Vilfredo Pareto. He was an Italian economist, and he was doing a research on how the wealth of Italy was distributed among the Italians. And then he found that 80% of Italy's wealth was distributed only among 20% of the Italians. That means the wealth distribution was not even, it was very scattered. Only a very few percentage of the Italians, they were owning a very high wealth of Italy. So that's why it is also called as 80-20 rule. And the Ishikawa, the Japanese quality guru, he told that this particular concept can be used for problem solving. And he told that 80% of the impact of the problem are caused by 20% of the causes. So 80% of the impact of the problem are caused by 20% of the causes. So if you are able to take action on those 20% of the causes, then 80% of the problem is going to be solved. So the Pareto diagram will help you to prioritize the root causes for immediate action. For example, assume that you are making some electronic components or automobile component, and you are doing a project to reduce your percentage of scrap. So whenever you are doing a project, you may find that the scrap is happening because of 10 different defects. So it may be a dimensional issue, it may be a mechanical issue, it may be some physical parameters like some chipping may be there, crack may be there, contamination may be there, some distortion may be there. So it may be a combination of some electrical, mechanical, dimensional, and visual parameters. So maybe around 10 different defect types are there. So if your current defect rate is around 10%, then you will find you will find that only out of these 10, only 2 defects are contributing to 80% of the problem. That means 8% of the scrap is going to come from only 2 defects. So if you are going to take action to reduce those defects due to those two problems, then 80% of the problem is going to be resolved. So that's what is a Pareto diagram that will help you to prioritize the problems for immediate solution. So again, this is actually a simple example from a car manufacturing, car service industry. So for example, when we are want to do a project to reduce the number of customer complaints, then again, you just make a note of why the customers are complaining, right? What are the, maybe in a month, around more than 200 customer complaints have been received. So you just make an analysis and then try to find out. So you will find that the vehicle not cleaned properly and the repeat complaints. So these are one or two problems which are repeating very often. So if you are able to solve these one or two problems, then the majority of your customer complaint you will be able to address. So this will be a very powerful tool for you to solve. For example, again, if you are having a lot of customers, maybe 50 customers are there, but you will find that only 20% of the customers are giving 80% of revenue to you. So you take care of this 20% of the customers very well, then 80% of your revenue is protected, right? So this type of concept will be very much helpful for you to prioritize your problems. The next tool, what you are going to learn is about fishbone diagram. The fishbone diagram is also called as a cause and effect diagram. We also call this as a Ishikawa diagram, because Ishikawa, the Japanese quality guru, he was the first one who used this particular tool. And it started off as a 4M analysis, and currently it became 5M, and then currently we are saying it's a 6M analysis. So this is a tool that is useful to get an exhaustive list of potential root causes for the problem. So whenever you have any problem and you want to get a full list of what are all the possible root causes for the problem, then you can do this fishbone diagram. So we call this as a fishbone diagram because you can see in the slide here, it resembles like a skeleton of a fish. So at the head of the fish, we just note down the problem what we are facing. So here we have an example of delay in the service delivery in a car service industry. So why the delay is happening? So we want to find out what are all the potential root causes. So again, this cause and effect diagram is done by using a very effective tool called as a brainstorming session. So in a brainstorming session, around 8 to 10 people from cross-functional teams, maybe people from production, quality, maintenance, and if required from purchase, HR, 8 to 12 people from different departments at different levels, at the workman level, supervisors, engineers, managers, and so on. So they will assemble in front of a moderator, and moderator will first set the context, saying that the objective of the meeting today is to find out the root causes for this particular problem. And then he will just draw this skeleton in the whiteboard, and then he will ask the people to give their ideas. So initially, the rate at which the ideas are coming will be very slow because the people will just be thinking. But after some time, maybe a participant will give an idea. His idea will trigger the mind of somebody else. Then he will give his idea. His idea will trigger the mind of somebody else, and then he will give that idea. So like that, slowly, the rate at which the ideas are coming will be picking up, and the moderator will just capture the ideas in the particular format, right? So again, whatever the category. So main idea is to categorize the problems into the different categories. Like what are the man-related issues, machine-related issues, material-related issues, measurement, method, and mother nature or environment. So by categorizing these root causes, it'll be easy for us to take action. because we can club together all the man-related issues, and then we can prepare an action plan and implement it so that the skill levels of the people can be improved. We can club all the mission-related problems, do a brainstorming session, find out the solution, and then take action on the mission. So like that, the categorizing the root causes will help you to take some immediate action. So the moderator will capture the ideas in this particular skeleton and against the particular category. So you can find that from the 10th minute to maybe for another 30 minutes till the 40th minute, the ideas will be coming at a faster rate. So all along, the moderator will motivate the people to give more and more ideas. But again, after 40 minutes, again, there will be a drop in the speed at which ideas are coming. And at a logical moment, the moderator will stop the session, and the entire list of ideas given by the participant captured in the fishbone skeleton format will be given as an output from the team. So there are two major thumb rules or ground rules for doing the fishbone diagram. The first one is that none of the ideas should be rejected, and none of the ideas should be discouraged. So the participants should be given a free hand to express their views. So why it is very important is here the idea of doing the fishbone diagram is not to get only the right answer, but to get the full list of all the possible reasons, so that even the slightest of the root cause, we don't miss it. Maybe in a Six Sigma or a lean project, maybe we'll be using some other tools for, again, screening out the insignificant one. But at this point of time, we want to capture even a small root causes, which is very important. So if the people are going to talk about saying that, okay, this idea is a good idea or this idea is a bad idea, then again, the attention will be diverted, and then people will be just tend to get argument with each other, and the direction may change. So the moderator has to be very skillful, and whenever some judgment are being done, that is good idea or bad idea, or whenever the topic is deviating, he has to ensure that the topic is, again, the discussion is brought back to the original topic. And again, second thing is none of the ideas should be discouraged. And again, there are two advantages of doing this as a teamwork, because if you are doing this root cause analysis as a team, then it is always, most of the time, you will not miss any of the bigger root causes being missed out, because somebody else or one or other person will definitely capture even the slightest of the possible reason. And the second important benefit is that since the people are involved at the time of finding the root cause of the problem, and again at the time of finding the solution, then at the time of implementation, then the ownership will be there for taking the improvement action. So that's how the fishbone diagram is a very effective tool for finding the root causes for the problem. And by doing this fishbone diagram, you will be able to get the width of what are all the possible reasons for the problem. But if you want to go deeper and you want to find the root cause of a particular problem, for that we use a tool which is called as a Y-Y analysis, or we also call this a 5-Y analysis. So I will just give an example of how this tool can be used, so that it will be easy for you to understand. So the 5-Y analysis or Y-Y analysis is a tool. It's a lean tool actually. So whenever you want to find the root cause of the problem, you just ask the question why multiple times till you get the root cause of the problem. So I'll just give an example so that it'll be easy for you to understand. So assume that you were late to the office yesterday by 1 hour. So you wanted to find the root cause for me being late to the office yesterday. So I asked myself the question, why I was late to the office yesterday? The answer was, I got delayed at the time of filling petrol in the petrol station. Again, I asked myself the question, why I got delayed at the time of filling petrol? The answer was, I was in a hurry when I left home. Why I was in a hurry when I left home? Because I forgot to, I got up late in the morning. So why I got up late in the morning? Because the alarm clock did not ring. Why the alarm clock did not ring? Because a spring in the alarm clock was broken. So if I want to find the root cause of me being late to the office yesterday, by asking the question why multiple times, I will be able to find out that the root cause is a breakage of a spring in my alarm clock. And if I'm going to solve the problem, my problem is going to be fully solved. So that is the power of this 5-way analysis or Y-way analysis. So normally by asking the question why 5 times, you will be able to get the root cause of the problem. But sometimes you may have to, by asking why only 3 times, you may be able to get the root cause. Sometimes you may go up to 6 or 7 times, right? That's why we generally call this as a Y-way analysis. So again, example from the car services here, delayed vehicle, why there is a delay in the vehicle repair? Because there was a lack of a required spare part. So why the spare part was missing? Because it was not in inventory. Why it was not in inventory? Because the required spare part procurement was delayed. Why it was delayed? Because the supplier order was not expedited. Why? Because urgent order priority process not established. So the root cause is the supplier order. There is no process for following of the or the prioritizing the urgent orders. So if you are able to put a process or a system in place, then you'll be able to solve the problem. So many times, why the very important benefit of this Y-way analysis is that whenever we have a problem, then we don't normally get into the depth of a problem. At a very high level, at a very superficial level, we will just find that maybe the material, maybe the first casualty will be the manpower. So we will just say that either that manpower was not skillful or his attitude was not right. So there was a manual error. So there was a problem. So that was only at a very superficial level. But if you are going in deeper and deeper into the problem, still you are able to come out and attack a systemic or a process issues, then on that you will be able to take action. Then the solution will be permanent. So this Pareto chart, the fishbone diagram, and Y-way analysis are some of the very simple but effective tools that can be used for analyzing the root causes for the problem. So again, how these tools can be used for solving a practical problem, we'll be just seeing after learning about lean. So lean is actually, as we have seen in the problem solving tree, is a tool, is a methodology used for identifying and eliminating waste in the process, and it was developed by Toyota. So Toyota during the early 1900s, they were into the handloom business. And they started their automobile business in 1936, but immediately after that, the Second World War came, and they were not very active. But after the Second World War ended in 1945, then they became very active, and they became very popular in the after the 1950s, and they were the first one to implement the waste, the lean management. So lean is actually a methodology to identify and eliminate waste. So the main principle in lean is to maximize the customer value while minimizing the resources. So that means if I want to coin a slogan for lean, I will just say lean means more with less. That means more output with less input. More output with less inputs. So you are by implementing lean, you are going to maximize the value to the customer. So before going further, I would like to explain what is value. So value is the inherent worth of a product as judged by the customer. So again, if I want to explain in a different language, I can just say value means the change in shape or form for which the customer is willing to pay. For example, whenever a customer wants to buy a car, then the manufacturer is painting the car. So the customer is willing to pay for the painting of the car, which is included in the price of the car. But because of some miscommunication within the car manufacturing company, so initially the car was painted with the wrong color, and a rework had to be done, which resulted in some 20,000 rupees extra being spent. So if the car manufacturing company is going to go to the customer and then ask them, sir, because of while manufacturing your car, so because of some problem, we had to do some rework, and because of that, some 20,000 rupees extra we have incurred. So can you please pay this 20,000 for us? Then the customer is not willing to pay, right? He is willing to pay only for once for the regular work, which is included in the price of the car. But because of your inefficiency, if you are going to spend something extra, he is not willing to pay for that. So whenever we are doing any activity, we need to really think. So is that activity adding any value to the customer? Then only we can call this a value added activity. So any activity like scrapping or waiting for the next process or doing some rework. So these are all not going to add value to the customer. We call this a non-value added activities, and we also call this as a waste. And the third category is about the business value added. So these are some activities which are especially the inspection, testing, the documentation, ERP entries, etc. So these are all very essential for doing our production. But again, these are not adding directly value to the customer. But again, these are mandatory for us to do to ensure the quality and reliability. We call this a business value added activity. So whenever you are doing some process, we need to try to see how we can increase the value added activities. So the time and effort, whatever you are spending on the value added activity, you should try to increase. And the non-value added business value added activities will tend to reduce. And the non-value added activities, you'll have to make it zero, reduce it to zero. So that's what should be our aim. So again, there's a lot of opportunity for improving in a manufacturing setup. So again, I'm going to ask a question to you. Maybe you can just type your answer in the chat box. So in a typical manufacturing setup, can you just imagine what percentage of time and effort is spent on value-added activities? So you can just guess it. What percentage of time and effort is spent on value-added activities in a manufacturing setup? So can you type your answer in the chat box? What percentage of time is spent on value-added activities in a manufacturing setup? Yeah, more answers, please. I would like to be more interactive. Munish Kumar, as I think, yes, spot on. Yes, good. So by a lot of research and a lot of observation, so it is found that around only 20 to 25%, 25 to 30% of the time is spent on value-added activities in a manufacturing setup. And in a service setup, around 40 to 45% of the time is spent on the value-added activities. So there is a huge scope for improvement for reducing the waste. So that is the reason in most of the quality focused companies, they always are wanting to implement lean, right? So now I think we have learned a lot about what is value and what is value added and non-value added activity and how it is helpful for us. So now we have understood lean means to get the maximum customer value while minimizing the resources. It focuses on creating the greater value with the fewer inputs. So lean will help you to improve the efficiency by reducing the cycle time, the number of errors and the inventory while enhancing the responsiveness to the customers. So it is a leadership driven approach. So a lot of initiative and the push has to come from the top. So again, when we talk about lean, we need to talk about understand the Toyota 3M model. So the Toyota 3M model stands for three Japanese words starting with M: Muda, Mura, and Muri. So Muda means waste, wastefulness, uselessness, and futility, which is contradicting value addition. So if you see the picture on the left extreme, you can see that he is transferring the water from one bucket to another bucket, but he is not very careful, and most of the water is getting spilled out. So similarly, in our workplaces, we always find a lot of wastage is happening in terms of the material, manpower, and machine time. So we find that the consumables like air or water or oil is leaking, or the machines are under breakdown, or the manpower is remaining idle, or somebody is doing some rework. So these are all waste and they are not adding any value to the customer. So we call them some MUDA, waste. The second name is MURA, unevenness. Also the variation, inconsistency. MURA means unevenness, non-uniformity and irregularity. So if you see the picture on the middle, you can see that he is carrying the load, but the load is not even. One side it is heavy and another side it is very light. So similarly, in your workplace, you can always see that maybe you are a manager and under you some two supervisors are working. One is very efficient. So whenever you want to give him any work, you just have to tell him, call him and explain your expectation within 10 minutes and tell him that you expect the work to be completed within 3 days. Then you can just forget about that work. At the end of the third day, he will come and tell you that the work has been completed. Then you go and check the quality of the work. It will be as per your expectation. But again, the another supervisor who is not at all very efficient. So whenever you have to give any work, you will have to talk to him for 2 hours to explain your expectation. And then you tell him that it has to be completed within 3 days. Then once he starts the work, again, he will come repeatedly to you to ask for some clarification. On the third day, he will come and tell you that he needs one more day for completing the work. And at the end of the fourth day, you go and check the quality of the work. Again, it may not be as per your expectation. So which supervisor he will give more work? To the first one or the second one? So obviously, he will give more work to the first person. So the person or the machine which is working very efficiently, you're trying to exploit it, right? So naturally, some sort of a imbalance is created within the system. And if the hardworking machine or the manpower is going to break down, then you are going to have a problem. There will not be anyone who will be able to do the job. So you need to really identify where this uneven or imbalance is there in the system. That is a waste. Third one is about MURI or overburden. So MURI means overburden, beyond one's power, excessiveness, impossible or unreasonable. So again, if you see here, he is carrying the load, which he is unable to, is not beyond his capacity. So similarly, many times we just ask our people to work on long hours and we run the machines continuously without even giving a break. So when I was working for an electronic component manufacturing company, I remember I have asked some of my people critical process to come and work for 5 shifts continuously. The person will come today morning at 6 a.m. in the morning. He will attend all the 3 shifts today. And then tomorrow, again, he will continue the first and second shift. And he'll leave tomorrow only at 10 p.m. the night. So that means 40 hours continuously. So when you are going to exploit manpower or machine to such a great extent, again, not giving them any rest, not doing any preventive maintenance or anything like that. So again, if the machine or manpower is going to break down, again, it is very difficult to replace. So employing the manpower or machine beyond their capacity, we call it overburdening or MURI. So in our processes, we need to understand where MURA is there, and MURI is there, and take action to remove these 3 M's. So again, the same concept I have just presented in a different picture. So assume that this truck can carry only 3 tons and we need to transport 6 tons from one place to another place. So if you are going to employ only one truck and load all the 6 tons in that, then it is going to be MURI, overburden. On the way, the truck may get breakdown and then you may not be able to reach the target. Alternatively, you may just employ 2 trucks, but on one truck, you load 4 tons and on another truck, you load only 2 tons. So maybe the 4 tons again beyond its capacity. So unevenness is there. On the way, the truck carrying 4 tons may just break down and again, you may not be able to reach the target. Alternatively, you may just employ 3 trucks and load 2 tons each. Again, employing the third truck is not at all needed. That is a waste. That is MUDA. So the ideal will be to just employ 2 trucks and employ 3 tons each, load 3 tons each, so that there is no MURI, MURA, or MUDA. So you need to ensure that there is no overburden there is no unevenness, and there is no wastage in your processes. Okay. So when we talk about the wastage, then what immediately we, okay, what immediately comes to your mind is any scrap, whatever you are doing in our process, only that is the waste. But that is not right. According to Lean, there are 8 different types of waste there, which can be remembered by remembering the word downtime. So our downtime is an acronym. Each letter stands for a particular word. So D stands for defects, O stands for overproduction, W stands for waiting, N stands for non-utilized talent, T stands for transportation, I stands for inventory, M stands for motion, and E stands for extra processing. So these are the 8 different types of waste. So this category is applicable for any type of industry, whether it is manufacturing or service or IT service or software development or construction, oil and gas, healthcare, any type of industry. All these 8 different types of waste are applicable. So first we will talk about what is defects. So waste from a product or service, failure to meet customer expectation. So any scrap we are doing the process or any rework we are doing. So again, these are not adding value to the customer, and these two will contribute to the defects, scrapping and reworking. Overproduction is waste from making more product than customer demand. So many times what happens is the customer order position is not actually constant throughout the year. So we are always having some peaks and troughs, right? For example, when I was working in an electronic component manufacturing company, April to June was a lean period. And during those months, we used to get the orders that can fill only 30% of our capacity. So in order to utilize the capacity of the manpower and the machines which are running idle, then what you normally we tend to do is we will try to see like about based upon the pending inquiry, assuming that certain percentage of the inquiry will be converted into order, or last year same time whatever we have delivered to the customer, so certain percentage of that we will just make a production plan, and then even without having the firm order from the customer, we will go ahead and produce it and keep it in the finished goods, thinking that as and when we are getting the order from the customer, we will deliver to the customer. So this way we are utilizing the capacity of the manpower and machine. But this is actually not right, because in case the customer is not placing the order, or sometimes what may happen is the product itself may be obsolete. That has happened many times to us, since again it was the electronic industry. So the same part which maybe last year he has bought my 500,000 numbers, but this year he may come out with a smaller part and then say that this component has replaced the old component. So I want this 500,000 of this new component. Then if you are going to keep 150,000 of the old part, then everything you'll have to throw it out. So in order to avoid overproduction, what you need to do, you need to produce the right product. So when I say right product, you should produce only those items for which we have the firm order from the customer at the right quantity. Produce exactly the quantity as required by the customer. Don't produce anything extra, thinking that again next time whenever he comes and buys, places the order, we can deliver from finished goods. Don't do that. Right quantity exactly as per the order quantity. Right time. So deliver to the customer only when he needs it. Don't deliver ahead of time or later than the required time. Only right time as soon he needs it with the right quality. So these are the actions you'll have to do in order to avoid the overproduction. The third wastage is waiting for the next process to happen. So whenever maybe you are having some 3 or 4 sub processes in the end-to-end process, and we cannot expect that all the sub processes are producing at the same level. Invariably, some difference will always be there in their output. For example, the second process is producing at the rate of 1000 pieces per shift, and the third process is producing at the rate of only 500 pieces per shift. So in that case, you can see that a lot of material will be waiting in front of the machine number 3, and time is money. So any wastage of time waiting for the next process to happen is going to be a waste. And again, in many times, like if that say third process is going to be affected by delay in getting the imported raw material or the breakdown of that particular machine or the long absence of a critical manpower who can run the machine. So because of all this, if again breakage of um, production is still going to be low, then again there's going to be a serious problem. So waiting time lost, waiting for a particular process, that is going to be a waste. The fourth waste is non-utilized talent. So again, I'm going to ask a question to you. You can just type in your chat box. So if I ask a question to you, what percentage of your abilities are being utilized by your current organization? So if I ask a question to you, what percentage of your capabilities are being utilized by the current organization? So if I'm going to ask the question to you, what will be your answer? Can you type on the chat box? Yeah. 60 to 70%, 70%, 60%, 50%. Yeah. So normally I get the answer from the various batches. So I always get the numbers from 50 to 70%. So on an average around 60%. So that means 40% of the human beings or the employees' capabilities are not being utilized by the organization. And for any organization, this is going to be a huge waste because whatever the work currently being done by 100 people, maybe if their capabilities are going to be fully utilized, maybe 60 people or 70 people would have been enough to do the job, right? So that means 30 to 40 people extra you are just employing, right? So that is going to be a huge waste for any organization. So again, the Japanese companies, they realize this very important concept and they always give a lot of emphasis on utilizing the talent of the people. So keep them engaged, keep them motivated. So they will just implement whatever the improvement idea they are having and all. So again, the employer-employee relationship is very strong in Japan. So that will help them to just reduce this non-utilized talent. The fifth one is about transportation. It's mainly because of the layout. Wasted time, resources and costs when unnecessary moving the products and material. So if you are going to move from one place to another place, the material, then you are going to spend a lot of power and fuel. And because of the frequent transport, again, the material also, your product also may get damaged, right? So that's what we call as a wastage due to transportation. For example, when I was working for Siemens in Calcutta, so initially they had a plant in one side of the road, which was having a capacity to produce 50 tons. And when they wanted to expand the capacity, then they just bought a empty land, which are just opposite. So on there, they built a plant to produce some 200 tons capacity, 4 times higher. So initially they thought that some few products they will produce end to end in old plant, and many of the products they will produce in the new plant end to end. But actually, what happened was over a period of time, after 1 year, what we found was that, for example, if there are 4 processes in the end to end process, so majority of the time, the first process we were used to do it in the old plant. Then because of some constraint, the second and third process will go to the new plant to get it done. And for the fourth process, again, it will come back to the new old plant. So because of the frequent transportation, again, power and fuel, again, a lot of wastage was there. So that material is very sensitive to the dust and contamination. And again, it is very fragile. So a lot of scrap was happening because of this. So all this wastage is happening because of the poor layout transportation. The sixth one is about inventory, waste resulting from excess products and material that are unprocessed. So any material which means whenever you are storing the material, either as a raw material or as a work in progress or as a finished goods, that means you are just adding your material cost, your manpower cost and machine cost. But again, everything is now remaining as a inventory and you are unable to monetize it with the customer. So you have spent all the money, but you have not been able to recover from the customer. So you'll face a serious cash management, right? Cash flow management. So you may not have enough money to pay to the salary to the employees and to the vendors, and then you will get into a serious problem. So inventory is the biggest enemy as far as the lean is concerned. Seventh one is about the motion. So wasted time and effort related to unnecessary movement by people. So the difference between transportation and motion is transportation is the frequent movement of the material, right? Whereas a motion is the frequent unnecessary movement by people. So if an operator has to bend a bit in order to load the machine, he has to stretch a bit in order to unload the machine, and he has to walk some 100 meters to transfer the material to the storage area. So this bending, stretching, and walking is going to make him tired too soon, and again his efficiency is going to be reduced. So you need to give him a proper working environment. Again, if they are going to work with a lot of heat, in an environment with a lot of heat, a lot of dust, a lot of noise, so again that is going to reduce their efficiency. So giving them the proper working environment and the working tools, that will help you to reduce the wastage due to the motion. Last one is about the extra processing. That means doing some extra work which is not at all required by the customer. So again, I am going to ask a question to you. You can type the answer in the chat box. So again, there are two definitions of a quality. The first definition is quality means meeting the customer requirement. Meeting customer requirements. And the second definition is exceeding the customer expectation. So according to you, which one is the right definition of quality? Meeting the customer requirements or exceeding the customer expectations? So which one, according to you, is the definition for quality? Fantastic. So all of you are saying is one, right? That means meeting the customer expectation. Maybe there's one reply that is exceeding the customer expectation. Because again, most of our Indian companies, our management themselves may say that whatever the customers are expecting, so we try to exceed their expectation so that they'll be very happy, and then they will just place more orders for the next year. But again, that is not the right approach. If the customers are wanting some quality or something from us, then they'll be ready to pay for that. But if they are not willing to pay for that, and then we are doing that to the customer, then that is going to be a waste, according to the definition of waste, right? It is not adding value to the customer. He is not willing to pay for that. So any activity we are doing extra in order to satisfy the customer, that's what we call as extra processing. Again, that is going to be a waste. So we need to identify where all these 8 types of waste is there and take action to remove this wastage. So again, these are all some of the examples from the automotive service industry. So defects, incorrect diagnosis or rework, overproduction, pre-preparing the spare part kits for all scheduled vehicles. Again, you just prepare the spare kits for all the scheduled vehicles, but if 30% of the vehicles are not turning up, again, it's going to be a waste. Generating invoices before job completion. So this is overproduction. That means without the firm commitment, if you are going to do some work, that is going to be a waste. Vehicle waiting for repair bay or waiting for spare parts, etc. Non-utilized talent, technicians not involved in problem solving, license from staff not taken, etc. Transportation, multiple movements from the vehicles, inventory, overstock of slow-moving spare parts, obsolete parts in inventory, motion, technicians walking long distance to fetch the tools, etc. Over processing, performing full multi-point inspection for minor service, rechecking the work multiple times unnecessarily. So these are all some of the examples of over processing. So anyway, we are going to share this PowerPoint presentation with you, so you can go through this. So some ideas will be there. So similarly, maybe in the end, I will just take a poll on the maybe after this top lean is completed. I will just take a poll to get an idea about the mix of this particular audience. And then accordingly, I can just prepare some examples in manufacturing also, or if it is more people are there, so that you'll be able to relate it to your area of work. Okay. So now that we have seen like what is the basic concepts of lean and how it is useful for improving your efficiency. So I have listed some of the most commonly used lean tools, and that will help you to make the improvements. So Kaizen is actually a small improvement. So again, small, we are going to learn about that from now. Pokayoke, 5S. So these are some of the tools we are going to learn. in detail now, right? So Kaizen is actually a Japanese word, two words. Kai means change, Zen means good. So change for good, that is improvement. So when we talk about Kaizen, we are talking about small improvement. So the concept behind Kaizen is small drops of water makes a big ocean. So if you want to get $1 million US dollar as a saving, there are two ways you can do. You can take 1,000 Kaizen project, and each Kaizen project may end in can result in a cost saving of $1,000, and then you are going to get a $1 million as a saving. Alternatively, you can just do only one Six Sigma project, and then you can just achieve a $1 million US dollar saving. But again, the Japanese people, they always go for the Kaizen because more people are going to be involved in the Kaizen project. And again, it is sustainable, right? Whereas in a Six Sigma project, maybe only some few people are going to be involved and it is a bit difficult to sustain. So the Kaizen is actually a small improvement. Just as I was telling you, like improving the yield by 0.2%, improving the productivity by 1%, reducing the time by 1 minute or something like that. Small improvement, but again, continuous improvement will be there. So you can just implement that as a size and scheme. So you can just prepare a very simple format. So whenever employee is having some ideas for improvement, you can just note down these ideas in the in that particular format, and then you can just drop it in the suggestion box that will be opened by the continuous improvement team, forwarded to the manager. And once the manager approves, then the employee can just given the permission to implement that action. And then the benefits can be monitored for maybe 1 month, 6 months or so. So Kaizen means actually is a small improvement, and then that will help people always to be very much engaged to their work. Pokayoke, also called as mistake proofing, that will help you to avoid any manual errors, right? So for example, in a for example, you are applying some torque or tightening the bolt. So again, it needs to you'll have to give a particular torque. So if you are going to do it manually, then it may be less or it may more. If you are going to give less, again, it may loosen up. The part may be loosened up. And if you are going to tighten it very far, then again, the bolt may break. But again, if you are going to use a digital torque meter, then with where you can preset the maximum torque, then even if nobody can make a mistake in that, right? Again, some of the practical examples for the Pocoyoke is whenever you get into a car, you forget to secure the seat belt. After running for a few minutes, again, you will get an alarm indicating that the seat belt is not secured properly, or maybe a door is not closed properly, or a handbrake is not released. So you get an immediately warning. That is the Pocoyoke. And the microwave oven. So the manufacturers know that if somebody is going to open when it is in a switched on condition, it is injurious to health. So the design of the machine is done in such a way that somebody is going to open in a switched on condition, the machine is automatically going to stop. So these Pocoyoke mechanism are normally used so that any manual errors can be avoided. So in a Six Sigma project, after making the improvement, then you will have to go for some Pocoyoke solution so that you will be able to sustain the improvements. So 5S is actually a lead tool that will help you to improve the workplace discipline. So 5S stands for 5 Japanese words, starting with S: Seiri, Seiton, Seizo, Seikatsu, and Shitsuke. So first you'll have to sort out what is required and what is not required. And whatever is required, you'll have to arrange in a systematic manner with a clearly identified color-coded labels, etc., to clearly identify the material, about status, etc., and arrange it in a very neat manner so that without searching, you'll be able to take the material. Then third one is seisho, or cleaning, shining. So you'll have to clean your workplace and the machines in such a way that the accidents can be reduced and the downtime can be reduced. Fourth one is seiketsu, or standardize. So you'll have to standardize all the end-to-end process, what you are going to do, and you'll have to document it as a do's and don'ts, so that even if someone new person is going to come, he'll be able to do it without any problem. And you'll have to manage your shop floor with the visual management, right? So you can just have the charts on the performance of the KPIs. So what is the performance of your yield for the last 1 year? What is the performance of your downtime, attrition, absenteeism, number of customer complaints? So if they are going to be presented in a chart as a bar chart or a pie chart in the entire factory, then it will create awareness among all the employees about what is the current status and in order to improve what needs to be done. So that is the standardizing and visual management. That is the fourth S. And fifth S is sustaining. So whatever the improvement we have got, how we are going to sustain the improvement. So again, the involvement of the senior management to enforce the discipline and doing some 5S audits and then giving the scores and displaying in the prominent locations in the organization. So to create some competition and then recognize and rewarding the people. So these are all some of the activities you can do for sustaining the improvement. That is Shizuke. So 5S is actually a lean tool that will help you to improve the workplace discipline. So again, I can see that what is before and after. So Seri is removing unnecessary items, setting in order, arrange the items so that they can easily find it. Shining, cleaning the work area and equipment. Standardize, set standards and follow consistent processes. Sustains, maintain and improve the workplace 5S through discipline and commitment. Right. So again, as a part of the lean, again, we have a problem solving methodology, which is called as a A3 problem solving. So again, whatever the approach, whatever I told you about identifying the problem, quantifying the problem, find the root causes, again, the same the sequence you are going to do, but again, you are going to do in a systematic manner. So that we give the name this as a A3 problem solving because the documentation of this problem solving we can just capture in a single A3 sheet of paper. So that is why we call this a A3. So again, this is also based upon the PDCA cycle, plan, do, check and act. And this particular concept was first developed by Toyota. So again, this is a case study of how a problem can be solved by using the A3. So you can see that you can capture all the information in the A3 problem solving in a paper format. So the problem here was the low first time fixed rate. That means once you give the cars after the repair, again the cars are coming back saying that some problems are not at all set right, or maybe some new problems have come. So repeat repairs, right? So the background, customers are returning with the same issue after the service, and your current first time fixed rate is only 78% below the target of 90%. So that's the background. Then you'll have to see what is the current status. So what is the current state? Then you can just put it in the bar chart or a line chart to show like what is the trend for the last 6 months. Then what is the goal? Aim is to improve the first time fixed rate from 78% to 90% within 3 months, right? Then again, so now you have clearly identified the problem and you have quantified the problem and you have fixed the goal. Then you just use the fishbone diagram to find out what are all the possible root causes for the problem, categorized under the 6M, and then do a 5-way analysis to just go into the depth of the problem to find the root causes. And then you just prepare an action plan about what are the issue and what is the action you are going to plan, who is going to do that, what is the timeline, and what is the current status. And then you make an action plan, and then you implement the action plan. And then after the results are implemented and stabilized, again, you just do the before-after comparison. So before implementation, the first time repair rate was only 78%, and after improvement, it is increased to 91%. And then once the improvements are achieved, then you can go for standardize. So you can just update your SOPs, standard operating procedures, make the checklist for all the jobs. So you just have a weekly dashboard, you just review about the performance, etc. Training and continuous monitoring through control charts, right? So these are some of the control mechanism you can put it, right? So these are some of the lessons learned in order to solve the problem. So standardization reduce the variability, proper diagnosis prevents the rework, data tracking is critical, training improves the quality, and focus on root causes, not quick fixes, right? So again, you can see that it's a very simple mechanism, but again, it's a very systematic problem solving. And whatever the improvements you are making, you'll be able to sustain the improvement. So this type of skills you will occur by doing this Six Sigma project. So since we are doing only the yellow belt, we are now talking about only the simple problem solving tools like whatever you have learned so far. But if you are going to learn this green belt or black belt, then you are going to learn more about the graphical tools also like a histogram, the box and whisker plot, scatter plot, the process capability analysis, CPCP analysis, control chart. So these higher end tools will help you to solve the higher complexity problems, and then you can just become a very good problem solver in your organization. Okay. So now we have covered the fundamentals of the problem solving and the fundamentals of lean and some lean tools and other things. So now we are going to learn about what is Six Sigma. So Six Sigma was first implemented in Motorola in the year 1987, and from 1987 to 1995, it was implemented in the Honeywell and the General Electrical. Initially, it was implemented only in manufacturing companies, but starting from the year 2000, again, it was implemented in software development and the service-related companies also. And again, starting from 2000, again, simultaneous implementation of Lean and Six Sigma was really found to be very useful for improving the processes. And this methodology is now implemented as Lean Six Sigma. That means a combination of Lean management and Six Sigma together. Lean will help you to reduce the defects and reduce the wastage, and it will help you to improve the productivity, improve efficiency. Six Sigma will help you to reduce the defects, improve quality. So a combination of Lean and Six Sigma will help you to improve the productivity and quality. So it is a data-driven, structured statistical methodology to achieve the DPMO, that is defects per million opportunity. So it's a data-driven approach. So whenever you want to do a Six Sigma project, then you need to collect a lot of accurate data from the process. And this data you will have to analyze with the help of the statistical tool, and you will have to validate some 3 or 4 critical root causes for taking action. And if a process is running at a Six Sigma level, then your defect rate is going to be only 3.4 defects per million opportunities. So that means in India, you assume that in a single day, around 1 million traffic signal changes are happening. So out of these 1 million traffic signal changes, only 3 signal changes are going to be defective, right? And if you are going to produce 1 million electronic or automobile components in a day, so out of these 1 million electronic or automobile components, only 3 components are going to be defective. So the defect rate is going to be so low so that your productivity is going to be very high, your yield is going to be very high, your profitability is going to be very high, your employee satisfaction is going to be high, your customer satisfaction is going to be high. So that is the reason why most of the companies, they want to implement Six Sigma. And you can say that if you think that a lot of new tools and concepts are evolved because of Six Sigma, it is not like that. Only the tools and concepts which are available even 50 or 100 years before, only those tools and concepts were just rearranged, reframed in a particular structured methodology. And that's how the Six Sigma evolved. And it is a toolkit bus for solving process problems. So whenever for example, in your home, whenever there's electrical problem, then you may call an electrician. So when the electrician comes, does he come empty-handed? No, he comes with a tools box. The tools box is having the tools for analyzing the problem, and again the tools box is having some other tools for solving the problem. So similarly, whenever you are going to learn the Six Sigma, green belt or black belt, you are going to be exposed to a lot of tools. Some of the very simple tools you have learned, but in the green belt or black belt, you are going to learn at least 100 to 150 tools you are going to learn. So by using these tools and concepts, you will be able to analyze and solve the process problem. So Six Sigma is just like a tools kit box for solving the process problem. And there are two major driving forces for Six Sigma: the customer satisfaction and financial benefit. So any Six Sigma project will start by identifying the problems the customers are facing with respect to our product or services. And again, since it is going to be an extensive methodology for problem solving, then again, a lot of financial savings is expected from this Six Sigma methodology. Second, as I was telling you, like for a process which is running at Six Sigma, defect rate is going to be only 3 defects per million opportunity. So any level between 5 and Six Sigma, we can call this as world class. But most of the organizations, they will be running only at 3 Sigma and 4 Sigma. That's why we call this a industry average, right? So our defect rate will be, if it is 3 Sigma, it is 66,807. That is around 6.7%. So if it is 4 Sigma, 6,250, that is 0.6% is our total scrap. Whereas if it is 3 Sigma, it is around 6.7%. So most of our organizations will be lying in this range, so we call it the industry average. But if you are going to improve the process capability from 3 sigma to 6 sigma, then we are going to drastically reduce the defect rate, and accordingly, a lot of benefits we will be getting. So again, as I was telling you when I was explaining about the DMAIC problem solving method, so again, it is a structured methodology for problem solving. So the DMAIC methodology is used for improving the existing process and existing products. So if a process is running for more than 1 year, and if variability is the issue, then we can solve this problem by using the Six Sigma methodology, right? So more than 1 year, and if variability is the issue, a lot of variation is there. For example, we are finding that our yield, the best yield we are getting is around 98%, and sometimes it goes as low as 85%. So there's a variation from 85% to 98%. Then if we want to achieve 95%, then we can use this Six Sigma methodology. So any Six Sigma methodology has to necessarily follow this DMAIC methodology. That means it has to pass through 5 phases. So these 5 phases we call as a define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. DMAIC methodology means define. D stands for define. M stands for measure, and A stands for analyze. I stands for improve, and C stands for control. So in the define phase, we first identify the customers who are having some problems with respect to our delivery quality or price or response time. And then we just identify the metric for improvement. So suppose the customer says that you are having problem of your delivery is the issue. Then we can understand that our delivery is the problem. And how we are measuring our delivery performance? We are measuring the delivery performance by measuring the percentage on-time delivery. So we listen to the voice of customer. We call it a VOC. So VOC says that inconsistent delivery. Then how we are measuring the delivery performance? We are measuring delivery performance in terms of percentage on-time delivery. Then we just quantify what is the current status. Maybe we are at only 80%. Whereas we have agreed with the customer that our percentage on-time delivery will be more than 95%. There is a huge gap between our actual performance and the customer, whatever you are committed to the customer. Then we can take the Six Sigma project, define the scope of the project, like which customer or which product or which location. We can define the scope of the project, and then appoint a project leader, project team, write the business case, justifying why the project should be taken, what are the benefits you are going to get, and document everything in a document which is called as a project charter. So this project charter is one of the major deliverables during the define phase. So we have to, again, if you see PDCA, plan, do, check, act, right? So the defining the problem is a very, very important aspect of the Six Sigma methodology. And you can see that 50% of your project is completed if you are able to define the problem correctly. Then during the measure phase, you have to collect a lot of accurate data from the process. And during the analyze phase, whatever the data you are going to collect it, you are going to analyze with the help of the statistical tool. And you are going to finalize the 3 or 4 critical root causes which are contributing substantially for the problem. Then in the improve phase, you are going to take action only on those 3 or 4 critical root causes. And in the control phase, you will find that by closely monitoring and controlling 1 or 2 critical root causes, you will be able to get a consistent output. So that is a very, this is a methodology, how the problem is solved. So normally you start during the measure phase with the fishbone diagram to find out a list of around 40 to 60 potential root causes that is having the impact on the problem. Then by using the various quality tools and statistical tools, which you will be learning in the green belt and the black belt, by using those various quality tools and the statistical tools, at the end of the analyze phase, you are going to narrow down to the 3 or 4 critical root causes, take action only on those 3 or 4 critical root causes. And in the control phase, you will find that by closely monitoring and controlling 1 or 2 critical inputs or the process conditions, you will be able to get a consistent output. So again, this is at a very high level. I'm just touching since it's a yellow bell. So in this is a sample project. So how a problem can be solved by using the DMAIC methodology. So again, you can see here, again, we have to define what is the purpose, so what is the problem statement, what is the scope of the project, what is the goal you want to achieve. what is the voice of customer, so what are the tools you are going to use, so what is the output, as I told you, project charter, etc. Then what are the benefits of a strong defined phase. In the measure phase, again, you'll be taught all these tools. So this is a typical black belt project. You can see you can use a lot of graphical tools, and this will be learning. In the analyze phase, again, by using the different analysis tools and the um, statistical tools, you'll be able to find the 3 or 4 critical root causes. And again, in the improve phase, you'll be able to take some improvement action. And in the control phase, you'll be putting in some control mechanism in place so that you'll be able to sustain the improvement, right? So this is how we can just solve a problem and present the problem by using the DMAIC methodology. So the Six Sigma roles and responsibility, again, is very important. So again, the senior management is very important because they have to give the overall direction for the successful implementation of Six Sigma. A champion are the senior management people who are going to give the resources to the project. They are going to give the administrative support. So they are going to provide the resource for the Six Sigma project. Master Black Belt are those people who are going to give the technical guidance. What the data needs to be collected from the process, what statistical tools should be used, and how to analyze the data and so on. So those technical guidance will be given by the Master Black Belt. And the black belts or green belts are normally the project leaders who are going to lead the Six Sigma project. And yellow belts are the people who are going to normally help the green belt or black belt to collect the accurate data from the process during the measure phase, and for closely monitoring and controlling the critical inputs during the control phase. And white belt, it is just a sort of a awareness training, right? So the black belt, actually, they will be achieving the skill set for solving the complex technical issues using the statistical tool. And green belts, they will get the skill set to solve a small problem in their own area of work. They can lead the project to solve the problems, a small problem in their own area of work. So again, if there is a myth saying that Six Sigma can be applied only to the manufacturing, but that is not right. So it can be applied anywhere, manufacturing, the IT service, logistics, banking, everywhere, healthcare, etc. Any domain, any function, it can apply. And again, it is very much helpful for the working professionals because right now maybe many of you are in the engineers, senior engineers, assistant manager, deputy manager, manager level. So mainly you are executing the instruction given by your managers or senior management people. But if you want to move from the execution role to the decision-making role, this can be possible only if you just improve your skills in terms of problem solving, right? So simply, if you are going to report the problems to your higher ups, none of the senior management is going to be impressed. But if you go to the higher ups with say that this is what the solution I'm thinking, and these are the resources I require, then immediately they will give, right? Because they are always wanting to give opportunity, more and more opportunities for the problem solvers, not the problem seekers, right? So again, we conduct the regular Lean Six Sigma, Green Belt and Black Belt program. Every month we have one session, 4 weekends, Saturdays and Sundays, 7:30 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. IST, because it's a convenient time across the globe. Like most of our participants are from India, Middle East, Africa, Southeast Asia, and few people from Europe and USA. So it is convenient for all the people. That's why 7:30 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. Saturdays and Sunday. We keep 1 month, 8 days, 4 weekends. So our green belt and the black belt courses are accredited by Council for Six Sigma certification. They are the #1 accreditation for Lean Six Sigma. And you will get the digital training material, case studies, and the recordings of all our listing. So again, we are actually making our all the students to just do a project from their own area of work. So that is a unique training procedure what we follow. So irrespective of whatever the product you are making, whatever the service you are providing, whichever the function you are working, we will just make you to do a project from your own area of work with the help of the AI tools. And will also give you a project completion certificate after the course is completed. In addition to the green belt or the black belt certification, you also will get a project completion certificate. And the courses are aligned with the ISQ and ISSC syllabus. So again, is a globally recognized certificate with lifetime validity, because some of the institutes, they may give only 1 year or 2 year validity, but we are having a lifetime validity, convenient batch timings for the participant across the globe. And we are also having a mobile app for the convenient learning with the lifetime free access. So again, since it is a mobile app, anytime, every time, you'll be able to access those material. So these are the unique features why you should select our institute, because again, normally I take the training. So I have 40 plus years of hands-on experience in the Lean Six Sigma project management, practical learning with the case studies, AI tool-aided teaching, post-certification assistance. After the training is completed, if you want to analyze any data or if you want to do any projects, then you can always approach us. So we will just form a WhatsApp group, and that will be active even after the session is completed. So you can always contact us, and then we have actually appointed one exclusive customer experience executive. So he will be always be available for you to fix up the time for the discussion, individual attention, because the small batch size. Recorded sessions will be shared with you. Again, we will be conducting some 10 quizzes during the course of the training. 10 into 10, 100 questions will be there. So updated tools and contents you will get. And you will have an opportunity to review the project, whatever you're doing, at least 2 times during the course of the session, so that any clarifications, you can get it clarified. Downloadable templates. So we also give you the downloadable templates like the fishbone diagram, Pareto chart, etc., so that you can use it for your own purpose. And you'll also have a real case study. Again, we have our website reference. You can visit our website. There are more than 50, 60 case studies we already uploaded. So we just make all our students do the project, and the best of the projects we will be just uploading in our website as the case studies. So that is our unique feature. So the key skills, what you will gain by doing the Six Sigma Green Belt or Black Belt. So again, as I told you, you'll be able to identify the improvement opportunities in your own area of work, and you will be able to acquire the skill to solve the real workplace problem. You will be able to reduce the cost and improve the efficiency in your organization, and you will be able to lead the improvement initiative. So instead of going and telling your managers and senior management, saying that these are the problems you are facing, and then looking forward to them to solve the problem for you, you yourself will be able to solve the problem because of the skills whatever you have gathered here. So these are some of the testimonials which is received from our alumni students. So again, you can see that most of them, they have highlighted the theoretical is not a theoretical, it's more of a practical approach and very easy to understand language. You can see that whatever the PowerPoint presentation we have prepared, again, I think easy to understand. Concepts also will be explained in a very simple language, relatable language, so that your learning will be always better. So again, as I was telling you, once you complete your project, you will be getting an exclusive project completion certificate mentioning your name and the project title where you have worked. And this is our upcoming schedule for the May and June, right? So again, you can contact us in this number, or you can visit our website here. So again, a lot of other information you will be able to get. Okay. So with that, this is what I wanted to say. And those people who want to leave, you can leave now. And if some of you want to have any clarification or you want to more information, then I'm ready for facing your questions and answer. But those who want to leave, we can leave. And for your information, the yellow belt certificates will be shared in your email latest by within 3 days. Latest by Tuesday, all the yellow belt certificate, and I think there was a combo, some 2-3 certificates. All the certificates will be delivered to your email ID, whatever you have given to us. And you also will get the recordings of this session, and you will also get the PowerPoint presentation. This presentation material also you will get. So all this you will get by
Hi.
latest by Tuesday. Yes.
Okay. Hi, sir. Actually, what's the duration of your course? Like in every day? Sorry, every weekend.
So every weekend, as I told you, it is Saturdays and Sundays. I'll just write it for you. It is Saturdays and
Yeah,
Sundays, 11,
it,
7:30
but
p.m. to 11:30 p.m.
so it's like 4 hours, right?
4 hours, yeah.
Yeah,
Saturdays.
it's my personal opinion. Can you make it like 2.5 hours to 3 hours because it's quite long duration.
Hmm. Because if
Um,
you take 2.5 hours, no, the problem is again 2.5 plus 2.5, 5 hours, right? So again, it's going to take 6 to 7 weeks. And again, within that 6 to 7 weeks, again, always there will be a possibility that you may have, even though during those Saturdays, Sundays also, you may have some other work lining up, right?
Yeah, because actually the continuously we are sitting in 4 hours, we cannot be concentrate. We
Hmm.
cannot be concentrate. And we cannot be capture your points. So it's my personal opinion. If you make it
Yeah.
is 2.5 hours to 3 hours, like 1.5 hours, then 10 minutes break again, 1.5 hours. It's more useful for us. Then it's very helpful to understand the everything because it's
Yeah,
four
we
hours.
also conduct some customized training batches. So even I think I took a PMP training for maybe during the weekdays, like what we suggested, only 2 hours, right? Every day, maybe from 7 p.m. to for a UAE batch. So from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. So if you are getting a batches enough students for a particular customized batch, that also you can either do it the weekdays or the weekends or whatever it is. That is possible.
Okay, sir. If it is possible, let me know, sir. I am also interested to join like black belt. If it is possible to conduct 2 hours, maximum 3 hours course, I will be join. I will be
Yeah.
join the.
Mm.
I will be join that batch. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay. Thanks. Thanks. Good night.
Okay. So any other questions? Any other clarifications? So again, for the regarding this exam, again, it is an open book exam. We conduct only the open book exam. So you are allowed to refer to the notes or the PowerPoint presentations, whatever you are giving. So if you are attending our sessions and you are with the clear attention without any diversion, then it should not be difficult. So our pass rate is more than 95%, right? So no need for you to worry about that. So we focus more on adding value to your learning, right? How you are going to apply it in your area of work and come up in your organization. So that is what is our primary aim. So if you are attentive in the class and you are able to complete the quizzes and the projects, whatever you are giving, then that will be more than enough for you to clear the exam very easily.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
When we
Yes.
found certificate of this course,
Yeah. As I told you, you will get it latest by Tuesday, coming Tuesday, by
uh,
mail.
okay, thank you.
Yeah. Through mail, you'll get it. Yeah.
Hello,
Yes,
sir.
Hello, sir.
yeah.
Any
Yes,
exam
ma'am.
required?
Pardon?
Any exam required for certificate?
No, 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 no exam. You'll just get it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Next training session.
Yeah.
Hello,
Yes.
sir.
Yes, Imamul. Yeah.
Sir, I want to know about PMP because I am interested to PMP project management courses. So what is the decode duration for this?
Yeah. The PMP we are actually conducting on Sundays morning. That is around 11 a.m. IST. So again, that is for 6 weeks. So again, we will our sales people will contact you and then they will give the details. So I think the May 15th or May 9th or May 15th, our next batch starts. So they will give you more information on that.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, Prasad. Any questions, Prasad? Nafis?
Sir, தமிழ்ல எதுவும்
Yes,
எடுக்க
sir.
முடியுமா sir? இந்த inbuilt
Yes, sir. I would like to
any-
ask you how many certifications you have to provide, like that ISO 9000, 2015, and many more, and only black belt, yellow belts you have to provide. So I'm just asking.
Yeah, now right now we are providing only the Lean Six Sigma, yellow belt, green belt, and black belt. And for the PMP, Project Management Professional, we are offering the 35 hours PD certificate. And in addition to that, we have some self-learning materials like ISO 9000, only the internal auditor course, not the lead auditor course. We are the internal auditor course. And then FMEA, 8D reports, and something like that. Some small 2 hours or 3 hours courses, short courses we have. எஸ் பிரசாந்த் ஆக்சுவலி வி டோன்ட் ஹாவ் எக்ஸ்க்ளூசிவ் தமிழ் பேட்ச் பட் ஆனால் இப்போ ஒரு
sir,
எனஃப் ஒரு
சொல்லுங்க
பேட்ச் இருந்ததுன்னா ஒரு
சரி சார்
ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் எல்லாரும் சேர்த்து ஒரு இருந்தேன்னா இப்போ ஒரு இதெல்லாம் கூட நான் நடத்துனேன் தனியாக ஸோ அந்த மாதிரி
சரிங்க
ஒரு
சார்
பேட்ச் வந்து இப்போ நாமளாக வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா அவர் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் ஆர் ஃப்ரம் அக்ராஸ் த குளோப் ஸோ அதனால
ஓகே
நான்
ஓகே
வந்து
சார் புரியுது
நார்மலி
புரியுது
இங்கிலீஷு பட் ஆனால்
ஓகே
இப்போ
சார்.
தமிழ்லேயே வந்து
ஓகே
நிறைய
சார்.
பேர் இருக்காங்க அப்படின்னா they can conduct a தமிழ் பேட்ச்.
சரிங்க சார். ஓகே. அதான் நிறைய பேர் தமிழ் என் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸுக்கு நான் கொஞ்சம் ரெஃபர் பண்ணுவேன். அதனால தான் கேட்குறேன்.
நீங்கள் ரெஃபர் பண்ணி எல்லாமே ஒரு பேட்சாக நீங்கள் வந்தீங்கன்னா நம்ம கன்வீனியன்ட்
ம்.
டைமில் வீக் டேஸோ இல்லை வந்து இதுலேயோ வந்து வீக்கெண்ட்ஸ்லேயோ நீங்கள் வந்து ஒரு
சரி சார்.
அது நீங்கள் நான் வந்து எங்களோட சேல்ஸ் பீப்புள் உங்களை கான்டாக்ட் பண்ண சொல்கிறேன். ஸோ நம்ம
சரி,
பார்த்துட்டு
ஓகே சார்.
நாங்கள் பண்ணிக்கலாம். ஓகே.
ரொம்ப நேரம் வந்து இங்கிலீஷ் கொஞ்சம் நம்மளால வந்து புரிஞ்சுக்க முடியல.
இல்லை புரியுது
தமிழ்லேயே
புரியுது.
கொஞ்சம் இருந்தாலும் பெட்டரா இருக்கு. அதனால தான்.
புரியுது. இப்போ கூட
அதான்
இந்த
சார்
வேல்யூ
தமிழ்ல இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் தமிழ்ல
இல்லை
இன்னும்
அதான்
கொஞ்சம் புரிஞ்சுக்கிறதுக்கு நல்லா வேல்யூபிளா இருக்கும் சார்.
அதான்
இங்கிலீஷ்ல
இப்போ
நம்ம
வந்து
எக்ஸாம் எழுதிடலாம், பட் வந்து அந்த கோர் லாங்குவேஜ் தமிழ்ல நம்ம புரிஞ்சுக்கிறது ரொம்ப ஈஸியா இருக்கும்.
அதான் இப்போ வந்து ஒரு
ஆமா.
வேல்யூ ஸ்ட்ரீம் மேப்பின்னு சொல்லிட்டு ஒரு 2 ஹவருக்கு வந்து இப்போ ஒரு தமிழ்லேயே எடுத்த ஒரு 17 பேர் இருந்தாங்க. ஸோ அந்த மாதிரி
சரி.
the enough students are there, then I can take. So even for people who are like very
ம்.
convenient with Hindi also, then that is also possible, right? Because some
ஓகே.
people are maybe they are more kind of leaning towards Hindi. So depending upon the batch size, if you are able to have a good batch size, then we can conduct an exclusive session. Is
Okay,
another
sir. Thank
question? Any questions?
Sir, what is regarding that MBB? Black
This is
belt
master belt.
அப்புறம் அது
ஆமாம், மாஸ்டர் பிளாக் பெல்ட். ஸோ மாஸ்டர்
மாஸ்டர்
பிளாக்
அதுவும் நீங்க
பெல்ட்
ப்ரொவைட் பண்ணிருக்கீங்க.
அது இப்போதைக்கு நாங்கள் பண்ணல. ஸோ வி வாண்ட் டு பிரிங் இட் பை இந்த நெக்ஸ்ட் இயர் பை 2027 January we want to launch that. So that will be more on the black belt வந்து இன்னும் வந்து how to plan the project, how to guide the projects, the project selection இருந்து ஆரம்பிச்சு how to guide the people to successful completion. இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் இதெல்லாம் வந்து அட்வான்ஸ் டூல்ஸ்லாம் எப்படி சொல்றது, ப்ராஜெக்ட் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் எப்படி பண்ண வைக்கிறது. ஸோ நிறைய அந்த மாதிரி நெக்ஸ்ட் லெவலில் அது போகிறது, அது கொஞ்சம் எக்ஸ்டென்சிவாக இருக்கணும்.
Regarding the black belt, sir, regarding the black belt, the exam will be in online or?
Yeah, it will be online. Yeah, it will be online. So it is a multiple choice question.
Okay.
100 questions will be there, and you will have to answer within 3 hours. So it's just like you click on the link, then you will be able to access the questions. So one by one, the questions will come on the screen. You will have to select the right answer, and then once you answer the last question, then you will have to click on the submit button. Then immediately you will know like how many marks you have got, and then you can just share it with us, and then that's it. It's very simple.
Okay. Can we refer our any what we voting without during the class? அப்போ அதை ரெஃபர் பண்ணலாம் எக்ஸாம்.
ரெஃபர் பண்ணலாம். அது இட்ஸ் ஓப்பன் புக் எக்ஸாம் தான்.
பண்ணலாம்.
ஏன்னா our aim is to ensure that you are able to understand the concepts. இல்லையா? இப்போ மெமரைஸ் பண்ணி உங்களுக்கு என்ன பிரயோஜனம் இல்லையா? What is the use of just memorizing and then forgetting after later? So
okay. Fine,
yes,
sir.
Badrinath, you had some question. Yeah.
Sir, this going up this certifications, right? So currently we are in this yellow belt. So we'll have to go like from yellow, we'll have to finish green and then only go to black, or how is it? Like depending on experience or depending on aspiration, we can go directly to do black belt.
So what we normally recommend is for the green belt, we just specify a minimum work experience of 3 years, right? Because again, if you don't have any industrial experience at all, then it will be a bit difficult for you to understand the concepts and apply that, right?
Okay.
But black belt, again, green belt, and it is not necessary that you'll have to complete the green belt and then only you'll have to complete the black belt. So if you are having enough number of, say, if you are having around 4 to 5 years of experience, then you can straight away do the black belt also.
So experiences should be only related to quality, or experiences can be related to like team management or project management, something
no,
like that?
It can be anything. It can be anything.
It can be anything. It just needs a professional experience.
Yes.
Okay.
Work experience, right? So not in a particular function, or not in a particular product or service. So as I told you, as I was telling you, any domain, any function, any product or service, these are applicable.
Okay, sir. Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yeah. So how was the training today? Like we have made some changes. So if some of you like to give some feedback, maybe there's an opportunity for improvement, then we would like to. Because our course materials is evolving based on the feedback given by the participants like you. So we have come a long way, but still I know that there are some opportunities for improvement. So maybe some of you can give the feedback about the course, how it went. Was it meeting the expectation?
Sir, I'm Anand here.
Yeah.
First and foremost, thanks for your time, sir.
Yeah.
Just I had a call. Immediately I was accepted it. But truly speaking, it's a very fruitful and useful training session. Henceforth, I also planned for a black belt certification. I will keep contacting yourself and your team, sir. Thanks for your time, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay,
Great, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Prasad, you would like to say something?
சார் அதான் இப்போ வந்து 7 years கிட்ட எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் ஆயிடுச்சு. இப்போ டைரக்டா பிளாக் பெல்ட் நம்ம பண்ணிக்கலாமா?
பிளாக் பெல்ட்
அதனால
பண்ணலாம். பிளாக் பெல்ட் பண்ணலாம்.
ஓகே சார். குவாலிட்டியில தான் நான் இருக்கேன்.
என்ன ப்ராடக்ட் பண்றீங்க?
சார் ப்ராடக்ட் வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா மைனிங் ப்ராடக்ட் சார். செல் லைனருக்கு ப்ராடக்ட் ஒரு ப்ராடக்ட். கம்பெனி வந்து பிராட்கன் இந்தியா பிரைவேட் லிமிடெட்.
ஓகே ஓகே.
கோயம்புத்தூர்ல தான் சார் நான் இருக்கேன்.
ஓகே ஓகே ஓகே
ஓகே சார்.
தேங்க்ஸ். ஓகே
சார். தேங்க்ஸ் சார்.
ஓகே.
நல்லா இருந்துச்சு சார். கிளாஸ் ஓரளவுக்கு புரிஞ்சுது. தமிழ்ல இருந்தா இன்னும் நல்லா கொஞ்சம் புரிஞ்சிருக்கும்.
பண்ணிடலாம். அது நாங்க வந்து அப்படி இல்லாட்டி கூட நாங்க தனியா ஒரு 1-to-1 செஷனை கூட நம்ம நடத்துவோம். அப்போ உங்களுக்கு ஏதாவது இருந்ததுன்னா அது ஏதாவது பண்ணா பண்ணிக்கலாம், ஒன்றும் பிரச்சனை இல்லை.
சரி சார். சரி, தேங்க்ஸ் சார்.
ஓகே ஓகே. So any questions, any doubts?
Okay, thank you so very much.
Okay, thank you, Vinod. Thank you. Any feedback from your side, Vinod?
Session is excellent.
Yeah.
I want to become a certificate of green belt.
Okay.
After getting the yellow belt.
Yeah.
I will try to black belt or yellow belt. No, green belt.
Yes. Yeah, sure. Our people will be in touch with you, so you can always join.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, there are no more questions. Maybe you can close the session. Again, once again, thanking you for attending this session and hope we'll be able to interact with you in the near future. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Good night. Good night.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.